Welcome back to the channel Valuable Coins History Coin Enthusiasts. In today's video, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of Jefferson Nickels, with a special spotlight on top 5, first up the 1981 D. Jefferson Nickel. Now, at first glance, this might look like just another common 5-cent piece that you might find in your pocket change. But don't be fooled. Under certain conditions, the 1981 D. Jefferson Nickel can be worth serious money in today's market. Some rare, high-grade examples have shocked collectors at auctions, turning a simple nickel into a small fortune overnight. So, let's uncover why this coin has become one of the most talked-about nickels from the 1980s. The 1981 D. Jefferson Nickel was minted at the Denver Mint, and over 364 million coins were produced that year. With such a huge mintage, you might think that there's nothing rare about it. However, as collectors know, the true value of a coin doesn't always come from how many were made, but rather from condition, minting errors, and overall rarity of surviving high-quality specimens. Most of these coins entered circulation immediately, where they were heavily used and became worn over time. That means finding one in pristine, untouched condition is actually very difficult. When it comes to coin values, grading plays a massive role. The 1981 D nickel in average circulated condition is only worth its face value, just 5 cents. But the story completely changes when we talk about uncirculated and high-grade coins. A 1981 D. Jefferson Nickel graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services like PGS or NGC can sell for hundreds of dollars. And in the rarest cases, when the coin reaches the elite grade of MS67 or higher, it becomes a true treasure, commanding prices well into the thousands of dollars. The reason high-grade examples of the 1981 D are so valuable is because of the quality control issues at the Denver Mint during that time. Many coins came out with weak strikes, nicks, or bag marks from mass production. This means that finding a flawless example with sharp details, a full strike, and beautiful luster is almost like finding a needle in a haystack. Collectors are willing to pay premium prices for such coins because they represent the very best of their kind, despite the huge original mintage. Another key factor that can make the 1981 D. Jefferson Nickel valuable is the presence of mint errors. Errors like off-center strikes, double dies, or coins struck on the wrong planchet can make a coin incredibly rare and desirable. These types of mint mistakes are always highly collectible and can easily turn a coin worth just 5 cents into one worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. At auction, some of the finest examples of the 1981 D. Jefferson Nickel have stunned collectors with their prices. For instance, coins graded MS67 full steps, a designation given when the steps on Monticello are perfectly visible and fully struck, have sold for prices over $3,000. That's right. Imagine turning a nickel from your pocket change into a coin worth thousands of dollars. It's this possibility that keeps collectors hunting for that perfect specimen. So, if you're searching your coin jars or looking through old change, make sure to pay close attention to the 1981 D nickel. Look for coins in excellent condition. Check the steps on Monticello, and keep an eye out for unusual errors. Even a slightly higher grade coin can bring you much more than face value. Collectors and investors alike know that the Jefferson Nickel series has hidden gems, and the 1981 D is one of those coins that has proven time and time again to deliver surprises in the marketplace. In conclusion, while the 1981 D. Jefferson Nickel might not seem extraordinary at first, its true potential lies in condition, rarity, and error varieties. Common examples might only be worth a few cents, but the top-graded coins with pristine details and full steps can sell for thousands, making this nickel a true riches from pocket change story. So keep your eyes open. You never know when a simple coin could turn into big money overnight. If you enjoyed learning about this valuable nickel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting treasures. Next up today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and surprising finds in modern U.S. coinage, the 1989 D. Jefferson Nickel. At first glance, this might look like an ordinary 5-cent piece in the Denver Mint, but don't let its common appearance fool you. While billions of nickels were minted that year, certain rare varieties and high-grade examples can be worth a fortune in today's market. If you happen to have one of these coins in your pocket change or tucked away in a coin jar, it could turn out to be worth big money, even enough to make you rich overnight. Let's start with the basics. The 1989 D. Jefferson nickel was struck at the Denver Mint, and the D mint mark can be found on the obverse coin just to the right of Thomas Jefferson's portrait. Over 570 million nickels were produced with the Denver Mint mark that year, making it a very common coin in circulation. Because of that high mintage, most 1989 D nickels are only worth face value, just 5 cents. However, coin collectors know that the true value lies in condition, rarity of errors, and demand in the market. So, what makes some 1989 D. Jefferson nickels valuable? It comes down to rarity in high grades. Coins that have survived in mint state, MS-67 or higher, are incredibly hard to find. Most coins show scratches, wear, or weak strikes from circulation. But when a pristine, sharply struck 1989 D nickel shows up at auction, collectors are willing to pay thousands of dollars. For example, top-graded nickels from this year have sold for over $3,000 to $5,000 in recent years, proving that even modern nickels can fetch life-changing amounts when they are flawless. Beyond grade rarity, error coins play a huge role in boosting the value of the 1989 D nickel. Collectors actively search for coins with mistakes like double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and full-step varieties. The full steps designation is especially important. This refers to the steps of Monticello on the reverse side of a nickel. If the coin shows sharp, unbroken detail on all 5 or 6 steps, it earns a full steps label from grading services, dramatically increasing its value. A 1989 D with full steps can easily jump from a few dollars to thousands of dollars at auction. One of the reasons these coins are so valuable in high grade is because they were not struck with the best quality during the late 1980s. Weak strikes and bag marks were extremely common, and coins were not carefully handled by the mint. This makes surviving examples with clean surfaces and full details rare and highly collectible. Collectors know that the tougher a coin is to find in top condition, the higher the price it can command. If you think you might have a valuable 1989 D. Jefferson nickel, the first step is to check its condition. Look closely at the coin under good lighting. Does it show sharp details in Jefferson's hair and the Monticello steps? Are there minimal scratches, dings, or wear marks? If so, you may want to have the coin graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can make the difference between selling it for a few dollars and selling it for several thousand. It's also worth mentioning that the demand for high-grade Jefferson nickels has grown significantly in the last 2 decades. Collectors are now paying closer attention to modern coins that were once ignored. This growing interest is pushing prices higher and higher. In fact, some auction records for 1980s nickels have shocked the numismatic community, with bids climbing into thousands for coins that appear almost perfect. This proves that even coins from relatively recent years can hold hidden treasures. In conclusion, the 1989 D. Jefferson nickel may seem like just another 5-cent piece, but under the right conditions, it can be worth big money, potentially enough to change your life overnight. Whether it's a flawless mint state example or a rare error coin, the potential value of this nickel should not be underestimated. So, check your pocket change, dig through your coin jars, and don't forget to look closely at every nickel you come across. Who knows? You might just be holding a rare 1989 D. Jefferson nickel worth thousands of dollars. Next up today, we're diving into one of the most surprising and valuable coins hiding in plain sight, the 1991 P. Jefferson nickel. At first glance, this coin looks like an ordinary 5-cent piece you'd find in your pocket change, but certain rare examples from this year and mint can be worth an absolute fortune in today's coin market. So, stick around until the very end because this is the kind of coin that could make you rich overnight. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1938, honoring the 3rd President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson. By 1991, the Philadelphia Mint had produced over 618 million nickels, which means they were extremely common at the time. However, despite this high mintage, What makes the 1991p nickel stand out is the fact that certain rare conditions, errors, and pristine grades can turn this ordinary-looking coin into a collector's dream worth thousands of dollars. Most 1991p Jefferson Nickels in circulated condition are worth only their face value of 5 cents, or perhaps 10 to 25 cents to a casual collector. This is because the majority of coins from this year were mass-produced and saw heavy use. However, when you move away from the common and into the extraordinary, such as error nickels, full steps varieties, and coins graded at the highest levels, that's where the real money begins. One of the most significant factors that drives up the value of a 1991p nickel is the full steps designation. This refers to the staircase on the reverse of Monticello. On most coins, the steps are worn down or poorly struck. But on a very few rare 1991p nickels, the steps appear with full sharpness and detail. Collectors will pay huge premiums for these full steps nickels, especially when they are certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. At auction, some pristine 1991p Jefferson Nickels with the full steps designation have sold for thousands of dollars. In fact, one example graded MS-66 with full steps reached a hammer price close to $4,000, which is an astronomical jump from just 5 cents. The reason is simple. Rarity plus condition equals value. And when you're talking about a coin that had millions produced, but only a handful preserved in this perfect strike condition, it becomes a golden ticket for collectors. Aside from the full steps designation, mint errors are another way your 1991p nickel could be worth serious money. Double die errors, off-center strikes, and planchet flaws can skyrocket the value of this coin. Depending on the type and severity of the error, prices can range from a few $100s to several thousand. Collectors love error nickels because they are unique. No two mistakes are exactly alike, which makes them one-of-a-kind pieces of history. Condition is everything in the coin market. A 1991p nickel graded below MS-65 might not attract too much attention, but once you hit MS-66, MS-67, or beyond, that's when the value explodes. These coins are nearly flawless, with sharp details, beautiful luster, and minimal contact marks. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these gems because they are so hard to find after more than 30 years in circulation. The 1991p Jefferson nickel is a great reminder that valuable coins are not always old or made of silver. Sometimes they're modern pieces that most people overlook. With the right eye, a simple pocket change find could be life-changing. This is why coin hunting has become such a thrilling hobby. You never know when a nickel, dime, or penny could be hiding a huge payday. So, if you got a jar of coins at home, make sure you check for that 1991p Jefferson nickel. Look for pristine condition, full steps on Monticello, or any unusual errors. Who knows? You might be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars, just waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this breakdown of one of America's hidden treasures, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a chance to learn about coins that could make you rich overnight. Next up, if you got a handful of old coins lying around, you might be sitting on a hidden treasure without even knowing it. Among the coins that can shock collectors with their surprising value is the 1992p Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary 5-cent coin, but some rare varieties from this year can fetch huge amounts of money in today's coin market. So in this video, we're diving deep into the most expensive and valuable 1992p Jefferson nickels, and why they're worth big money that can make you rich overnight. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1938, featuring the iconic portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his Monticello home on the reverse. By 1992, millions of these nickels were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the P Mint mark. Because so many were struck, most people assume they're common and not worth collecting. But here's the surprise. Some coins from this year carry errors, varieties, and unique conditions that make them extremely valuable. The majority of circulated 1992p Jefferson nickels are only worth their face value of 5 cents. And even in uncirculated grades, they often sell for just a few dollars. However, collectors don't just look for standard coins. They chase after rare ones with high grades or special characteristics. A pristine 1992p Jefferson nickel graded MS-67 or higher by PGS or NGC can easily sell for hundreds of dollars, since so few examples survive in such top-quality condition. But the real money comes from error coins. The U.S. Mint isn't perfect, and sometimes mistakes slip through. Off-center strikes, double dies, repunched mint marks, and even missing design details can drastically increase the value of a 1992p Jefferson nickel. A dramatic error that clearly shows flaws in the strike can push this coin's price into thousands, especially if it's well preserved. That's where ordinary pocket change suddenly turns into a gold mine. One of the most valuable aspects of Jefferson Nickels from the early 1990s is their scarcity in gem condition. Unlike silver coins or older cents, nickels were heavily circulated in daily commerce. That means finding one without scratches, dings, or wears rare. Collectors prize these flawless examples, and auction houses have recorded sales of high-grade 1992p nickels reaching into the four-figure range, especially when certified by professional grading services. Imagine this. You check your coin jar, pull out what looks like just another nickel, and it turns out to be an error variety from 1992p in mint condition. That little 5-cent piece could bring you anywhere from several $100s to over $5,000 at auction, depending on rarity and demand. For many collectors and resellers, this is a kind of discovery that really does feel like getting rich overnight. The key to unlocking this hidden fortune is knowledge. If you own a 1992p Jefferson nickel, look closely for any unusual features. Check the strike. Examine the details under magnification. And if you believe you've got something special, submit it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Certification not only verifies authenticity, but also boosts the coin's value in the eyes of collectors. So the next time you come across a Jefferson nickel from 1992 with a P mint mark, don't just toss it aside. That small piece of metal could be hiding a fortune, especially if it's a rare error or gem quality coin. With values ranging from face value to thousands of dollars, this nickel proves once again that treasure can be found in the most ordinary places, even in your pocket change. Next up, if you've ever checked your pocket change and found a Jefferson nickel, you probably didn't think much of it. After all, it's just 5 cents, right? But what if I told you that one specific version of the 1996 D Jefferson nickel could actually be worth a fortune in today's market? Yes, you heard that right. A nickel minted in 1996 with the D mint mark from Denver has been sold for big money, and collectors are always on the lookout for rare variations that can make you rich overnight. The 1996 D Jefferson nickel was struck in the Denver Mint, and millions of them were made for circulation. At first glance, most of these nickels are worth only face value. But as with many coins, the real treasures lie in special minting errors, high-grade conditions, and unique varieties that slip through quality control. When discovered, these coins can command massive prices at auction, sometimes turning a simple 5-cent piece into thousands of dollars in profit. One of the reasons collectors prize the 1996 D nickel is because of its scarcity in high mint state grades. While circulated coins are common, finding one in pristine condition with no scratches, strong luster, and sharp details is extremely rare. Third-party grading companies like PCGS and NGC have given some of these nickels high grades, such as MS-67 or even MS-68, and those examples are the ones that bring the big money. In fact, certain MS-68 1996 D Jefferson Nickels has sold for more than $1,000, an incredible return on just 5 cents. But the real jackpot comes from error coins. Some 1996 D Nickels were struck with dramatic minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or full steps on Monticello, a detail collectors chase aggressively. The full steps variety is especially important. If the steps on the Monticello building on the reverse of the nickel are completely visible without any flattening, the coin becomes far more desirable. These full step examples are rare from 1996, and when certified by grading companies, they can fetch anywhere between $2,000 and $5,000 or more at auction. Let's not forget the role of rarity combined with collector demand. The Jefferson Nickels series are the loyal following among coin collectors, and even modern dates like 1996 can surprise the market when an unusual example surfaces. One particularly stunning 1996. D nickel with full steps and a flawless finish shocked the coin world when it sold for nearly $10,000 at a major coin auction. That's the kind of life-changing discovery that turns a pocket change hunt into a treasure hunt. So, how do you know if your 1996 D Jefferson nickel is valuable? The first step is to carefully check its condition. If it looks uncirculated, shiny, and free of major blemishes, it may be worth sending to a grading service. Next, examine the reverse side for those all-important full steps on Monticello. If all 6 steps are visible, you might be holding a rare gem. And lastly, always look for signs of minting errors like doubling or striking mistakes. These can multiply the value instantly. It's also worth noting that not every coin dealer will pay top dollar unless the coin has been professionally graded. That's why collectors often submit their nickels to services like PCGS or NGC, where the coin's condition is officially certified. Once slabbed and graded, your 1996 D nickel can be listed at auctions or sold to collectors who specialize in Jefferson nickels, and that's where the real money starts coming in. In conclusion, while most 1996 D Jefferson nickels are only worth 5 cents, the rare high-grade or error examples can be worth thousands, even up to $10,000. So the next time you get a nickel in your change, take a closer look, because that little coin might just be your ticket to overnight riches. Don't underestimate the power of coin collecting. History has shown that even modern coins can hide treasures that change lives. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more hidden coin treasures.